Hi, my name is Megan Stafford, and I did my product as a public education campaign. So, right now, I think as a country, we're struggling with being very closed minded, and that starts from when we're younger and we're taught that by the generations above us. So, my audience would be middle school and high school students. I want to expose kids at younger ages to these type of ideas that we've learned in this class because they don't really have those types of classes in younger grades. So we'd start by focusing on the faculty and eventually moving up to school boards and districts. So we want to provide a multi-perspective education. In this class specifically, we've looked at the history of a country that we thought we knew, but in fact we really didn't because we were only taught one side. So I want to require types of classes like these at a younger age because I think was very hard for some of us to understand that our country could have done something that we didn't even know about. So I want to expose the youth basically to a class like this. And then we would help break down conventional wisdom and our Orientalist ideas and just become a more open-minded country. So the types of classes that I'd want to require would be classes on foreign relations. I think as a country and as a society in general, that is something that is very, very important right now, is working together. As we saw with the global pandemic, we all kind of needed to work together to get through that, and we're still kind of dealing with that. And when you look at the United States and North Korea, for example, we don't really have a relationship. It's just an enemy and a victim, with the United States normally playing the victim role. I would also do classes with diplomacy. I think that is another important thing in today's society. And then different ways of thinking, transformative justice, and focusing on fixing the problem at hand and dealing with the repercussions rather than just punishing someone blindly and not actually fixing the issue, I think is very important. And when it comes to the United States and North Korea, that is something that we have not been able to do. Different ways of thinking, like scenario thinking and emergent thinking, different ways of planning for the future, I think is another good option. Especially right now, I think we weren't really prepared for a lot of things that have happened recently, and if we could have used these thinkings, we may have been prepared. So I think all of these classes need to be required at younger ages. So the way that I would do this was we would start with a message. So our message would be, our world is growing and it is growing divided. In order to work together, we must examine foreign relations and conflicts from different perspectives to get the full view of history. So I would start by speaking with different schools across the country, different schools in each district, and giving them presentations and pamphlets and convincing them that they need these types of classes in their schools. Then the next step would be drawing petitions and getting said faculty members and schools to sign that petition. And with enough signatures, we would take it to the school boards and the districts and convince them to require that classes like this be offered in their schools, specifically in middle school and high school. I think that these classes are essential to protecting diversity and protecting the way that our world is moving forward. I think we're growing a little bit divided, and I think that is scary. I think we all need to work together, and I think the United States and North Korea is a prime example of just not working together and not being able to let go of old prejudices and not looking at everything that happened in a full scope of history. So I think these classes and teaching our youth this will prevent that, and we'll be able to think for ourselves, examine everything from all sides, and come up with a logical conclusion and opinion.